The key to a good chicken salad is using
Alright y'all, we're going to move these cows here in just a minute, but I want to come over here and take a look at everybody, see if everybody's looking. So, I've been gone for a few days working on our new store building, and I've had the cows. Before I left, I gave the cows a really big area so that Saundra and Brittany and them wouldn't have to worry about moving them. So I don't know if you can make out the line. We got a line. There you can see a blue post. There's another blue post. Line right there. And then the line goes all the way down there on the other side of that shade structure. See another couple yellow posts right there. So they've had all of this for a few days. And I just want to come out and check on everybody and see how they're doing. As you can see, they have absolutely muddied up. And that's to be expected. Muddied up where their water is. And usually what will happen is they'll be down here, this side of the field in the morning, because the sun is just coming up and still behind these trees right here, so it stays shady there. And then as the day goes along, they'll end up down there underneath that shade structure. I looked out this morning about, I don't know, 6 o'clock, right as we was getting a little bit of sun, and they were out grazing in the pasture. And there's still plenty of grass here, so it's not like we've left them in a spot where they would eat it down to the dirt in a day and then not have anything. So just want to look at everybody. I caught one of them's foot over in the drinker there. I ain't surprised at that, but just want to look at everybody. So right here in the middle with his butt kind of towards us, this red guy right here, that's Harry. So Harry has been in now for 42 days plus I think a week and a half. It's not 2.5 weeks, I think it's just a week and a half. So Harry's been in for 42 days. Cow cycles every 21 days, so he's been in long enough for everybody to have cycled twice. So we hope that all the females in here are pregnant. We're going to pregnancy check them here in a couple of weeks, and we'll show y'all how we do that when it comes time. But everybody looking good. They're just hot, you know. I mean, got some up here laid out. Everybody's doing their thing. 234 right there. I'm hoping this girl right here is bred. She looks good. She's a little short in the leg, but otherwise she looks good. So I'm hoping she's bred. I think I've got 7. Yeah, there's 7 females in here. So hopefully we'll have 7 bred cows, bred heifers, whatever they end up being. You know, the only 2 that I know that have had calves is Penelope over here, and then that big. Yeah, that's right. Penelope over here, and then that big white girl. You can see her hind quarters back there. Those are the only ones that have had calves. So hopefully they're pregnant. So we're going to. I'm gonna get this shade structure down here. That's why I brought the tractor out. Get it. We're gonna take it up here above the wire. I'll set them up a new spot and give them a new spot. We'll move their water. I want to get them moved because I've got to feed water and move the chickens here. Brittany's off today. So I'm out here getting the chores done. I've got to feed, water, and move them. Feed the egg birds, all that kind of stuff. So pull a wire, got to put out posts, pull a wire. I have to drive a post or two, I think. I have to drive one T-post. That's all right, ain't no big deal. But it is a big deal. Because it is hotter than Nom out here this morning, y'all. I don't know where that saying even comes from, hotter than Nom. But it's hot. So that's why I'm wearing shorts. So I don't like to wear shorts out here working, because I don't like, we got to, I mean, there's ticks and bugs and briars and all that kind of stuff. But I would rather risk a round of Rocky Mountain spotted fever, Lyme's disease, and some doxycycline than to just absolutely burn up today. So anyway, let's get to work.
So I've got all my ingredients together here, and we're going to start out just rough chopping. And that's really all it takes, is a rough chop. And all that goes into the pot. On the garlic, I just cut it in half. And it goes in skin and all. The onion, I'm only going to use half of it because this is such a big onion. But it goes in skin and all as well. And then this lemon, I'm just going to give it a roll a little bit just to bruise it. We'll cut it in half, and it goes in just like that. And then we're going to add 15 to 20 peppercorns. You don't have to be real precise with it. And then we'll add our chicken. And so we processed chickens 3 days ago, and this is one of the cull chickens. This is the only cull, actually, and it's a little bitty thing. It's just small. See how big it is compared to my hand. It's a little bitty thing. So what I did was I went into the freezer and got another one. And so this is a whole bird, and it looks like an old rooster because of the keel on this thing. So this is how you tell an egg bird from a meat bird. Look at the breastbone on that thing in the keel. It's very pronounced. So this is not what I would call a meat chicken. A meat chicken would have, the breast would be really big. This would be very subtle. So that's the difference. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut this thing right down the middle. I may do better to get my scissors out to do this. An egg chicken is harder to cut up than a meat chicken, simply because it's been bred to live, whereas a meat chicken has been bred to die. Everything about a meat chicken is tender, from its lifespan to its meat. A meat chicken will die if you look at it the wrong way. So I'm going to put that in there just like that. And now we'll cover this with water. Bring it up to a low simmer, and we're going to let it simmer all day. And later on this afternoon, we will come back. Well, actually, once the chicken is done cooking, I'll come in and bring it out, let it cool off some, and pull the meat off of it. And after I pull the meat off of it, I'm going to put the bones back in the pot and let those simmer all day. And that's how you make a really good stock. You put all these ingredients in with your chicken. You even if you just have bones, if you just have a carcass, this is what you want to do. You let those bones just go as long as you can. All day, all night. The longer you can let it go, the richer the stock will be. Alright, so what I've done here is I've covered this chicken in water, and I'm going to let this thing come up to I'm going to turn it on high and bring it up to a boil, and then I'm going to turn it down to a slow simmer. I'm going to let it go a couple, 3 hours. I'll come back, pull the chickens out, get the meat off the bones, and then I'm going to put the bones back in the pot. And I'll bring it back up to a simmer, and then we're just going to let it sit all day here on the stove and cook. That is the best way to make a really rich, nice chicken broth. You just let the bones sit all day, all night, however long you can let it go, and it just makes a really rich stock. That's the best way I know to do it. So I'm going to put a cover over this. I don't have a lid for that pot. And so now I'm just going to cover this, and I don't have a lid for that pot, so I'm going to just use a sheet pan. And we'll bring this up to a boil, cut it back to a slow simmer, and I'll be back with you in a couple of hours.
All right, y'all, if you're needing some step-in posts to move your critters with, right here's, and it's not sponsored, this is what you ought to get. These are O'Brien posts. I get these from PowerFlex Fence. And now they're a little more expensive than what you get down at Tractor Supply and at your feed and seed and that kind of stuff. But let me show you the difference. I think, yeah, I got one right here. So this is a step-in post from down at Tractor Supply, and this is a step-in post from PowerFlex Fence. These are the O'Brien brand. Now the difference is, this is a Tractor Supply. That's what a Tractor Supply post will do after about a year out in the sun. They get real brittle and they break up, and they're not worth your money. These, I mean, you can't. I guess you can, but they don't break. I mean, they're good posts. The only problem that I've ever had with these, and I've got some of these posts that are, I guess, 3 or 4 years old that I'm still using. I've broke a couple of these little ears off from pulling on them, so I broke them, but very few. And then if you put them in the ground and leave them in one spot for a long time, and it gets real dry, and you got pull, and you finally get them out, sometimes the metal spike on this thing, where it goes up into the arbor on the post itself, it will pull out. But I think I've lost maybe 2 or 3 of doing that. Don't buy the cheap Chinese knockoffs. They make some that look just like them, but they're not. Get the O'Brien brand. Like I say, I get them from PowerFlex Fence. This is not a sponsored video. Greg Judy recommends them, and I've got a small fortune tied up in these things, but they are for the money. You can't beat them. They last, you know, and you can buy 3 or 4 of those Tractor Supply posts for what these will cost you, but you'll have to buy them every 3 or 4 years too. So PowerFlex Fence, O'Brien posts, you just can't beat them. Good posts. y'all see, I ain't got much wire at all left here. Just about to the end of the string. So I think I'm going to be okay. So, and I showed this before. So just take your temporary wire, and you've got a metal clip on this thing. Just wrap your temporary wire around your metal clip a couple times and then hang it on your fence. That's hot. Hang it on your fence, it's hot. And it will energize. Energize your line. And that fence is off right now. So when I hook that thing back up at the barn, that'll make all that hot all the way back there.
So I've got this chicken out just a few minutes ago, and I've let it sit and cool some so I can handle it. And so this is our chicken that came out of the freezer. And there is the thigh meat, and you can see how dark that is. And then this is our little chicken that is that we were working on last week. That is one of our meat birds. So I'm going to show you the difference in the thigh meat of the egg chicken versus the meat chicken. So there's the difference. You see the darkness of the egg bird meat in the thigh, and then how the meat bird, the thigh meat is kind of dull looking, very, very white. So that's why you hear people talk about they like to use old roosters or old spent hens to make chicken stock and to make chicken pie and things like that, because of this dark meat. It gives it a ton of flavor. So we're going to pull all the meat off of these two chickens here, and that's what we're going to use to make our chicken salad. So right there, I just cut a tendon out. You don't want to put that in your chicken salad. And then once I get all the meat off of these bones, I'm going to put them straight back into my pot. And I'm going to put the skin back into the pot also. Get more fat and flavor out of that skin also. I think I've got a good all of that. Okay, so I've got all my chicken out off the bones, and now I've put the bones back in the pot here, as you can see, and I'm going to turn this back on, set my pan back over, and we're just going to let that keep going, and that's going to make us a really nice stock. And here's my chicken for my chicken salad.
Before we move their water, let's see if we can move them. See if they'll come up. They're just, I think they're in the shot of the camper, just right there. Whoa, cow! Whoo, cow! Whoo, cow! Whoo, cow! Come on. Cal. Come on. Yeah, you're ready, ain't you? Woo, Cal. I'm gonna get you water, move it for you. Come on, everybody. Come on. 265. That's everybody. Come on, Harry. Harry had to stop and have his morning constitution. One of many. All right, everybody. Good work, good work. Boy, that'd have been a show, wouldn't it? There you go. I just about fell backwards into that drinker. That would have been a show right there. Stepping over in that thing with their old muddy poopy feet, getting their drinker dirty. Oh look, more ticks. How cool is that? Let's see here. Oh, that's the wrong hose. I can't use that one. That one goes to some chickens. All right then. I'll go up here to the corner. Well, they were ready for some fresh grass, wasn't they? Now, we'll use this one. Straighten y'all up a little bit right there. Use this one here. hang out a little bit. $2.34. Well, I hope you're pregnant. All right, we'll put this wire back up. What business?
So I'm gonna go ahead here and make my chicken salad. So the first thing we're gonna do is take this chicken, put it out here on the cutting board and chop it up a little better. So as you see, I'm not chopping it up real fine. I'm just kind of giving it a dice. Once we get all of our ingredients in there and start mixing it up, it'll come apart a little easier, or it'll come apart while I'm mixing up all the other ingredients. And as you can see, I'm trying to arrange this chicken so where I'm cutting across the grain of the meat fibers. Okay, so there's our chicken. I'm gonna get cleaned up a little bit here and we'll start working on our veggies.
And y'all, I've said it I don't know how many times. There is just nothing like seeing animals, whether it's cows or chickens or turkeys or whatever. There's just nothing like seeing animals move on to fresh grass. I mean, it's how the good Lord intended it. It's the system that works. It's ecologically friendly. It's environmentally friendly. It's good for the animals. It's good for the people. I mean, it's good for the land. It's just good for everybody all the way around. This is how it ought to be. Seeing these cows out here head down, eating that grass. I mean, that right there is just, it's how it ought to be.
So I've got my workstation here reset, got my board and my knife cleaned up, and we're gonna start putting together this chicken salad. And my basic ingredients are onion, celery, garlic powder, a little cayenne, little pickle juice, actually not pickle juice, a little apple cider vinegar, and Duke's mayonnaise. And that's basically it, with a little salt and pepper. And I tend to chop the onion and the celery up pretty fine. And I'm going to use about a quarter of this onion. So I'm using a little bit of apple cider vinegar. It doesn't take much at all. That's plenty. That might be half a tablespoon. A little cayenne, because Chuck likes it a little spicy. A little garlic powder. It doesn't take much because we had that head of garlic in the pot while we were boiling the chicken. And then our mayonnaise. And I always use Duke's mayonnaise. That's just what I grew up with. It's what I like. It's what I use. Not put too much in it right off the bat. So if we need to add some more, we can. You can always add to. It's really hard to take away when you've put too much of something in it. And a little salt and pepper. And that should do it. And as you can see, like I was saying earlier, when you start to combining this and stirring it up, those little chunks of chicken tend to fall apart a little more. Give it a little taste test here. That's good stuff. And that's all there is to it. The key to a good chicken salad is using a good pasture-raised chicken. So here's my chicken salad. And then over here is my chicken broth. Whoops, too far. There we go. Here's my chicken broth. It's coming back up to temperature, and we're going to let that steep, rest of the day. It's 20 minutes after 2 now. It'll probably be 9 or 10 o'clock tonight before I take that off the stove. So that's how we do our chicken salad here.
All right, y'all, there it is. Quick cow move today. Sorry, I just don't have anything else filmed. But I think y'all probably did not come here for watching me move cows, but instead for that chicken salad that Saundra's been working on in the house. So I'm hot, I'm tired. I think I'm gonna go to the house and see if she's got enough of that stuff to make a good sandwich. So like I always say, please keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks.